In a bustling ancient city, the young scribe Ezra spent his days copying sacred texts in a dimly lit room within the temple. He was meticulous, careful with every stroke of his quill, knowing that each word he inscribed held great significance. His workroom was lined with scrolls, their parchment surfaces smoothed and ready for ink. The scent of incense wafted in from the temple, and the distant murmur of prayers filled the air. Ezra's life was simple but meaningful. He lived in a small house at the edge of the city, surrounded by olive trees and grapevines. He'd inherited the craft of scribal work from his father, who had learned it from his father before him. Yet, even with his deep roots, Ezra felt a calling, an urge to do something more significant with his skills. One evening, while he was walking home, Ezra heard an argument in the marketplace. A group of people were debating a point of the law, their voices rising in heated discussion. The scribe stopped to listen, intrigued by the fervor in their voices. The argument was about an ancient prophecy, one that spoke of a coming age of peace and justice. The people were divided on its meaning, unsure of whether it would be fulfilled in their lifetime or if it was just a distant hope. Ezra felt a stirring in his heart. He had spent years copying the sacred texts, but he had never truly considered their impact on the people. These were not just words, they were living, breathing ideas that shaped lives, inspired dreams, and guided actions. The next day, Ezra began a new project. He would create a special scroll, one that compiled the most important prophecies and teachings. It would be a guide for those who, like the people in the marketplace, sought answers in times of uncertainty. He worked tirelessly, selecting passages with care and writing them in a clear, accessible script. He adorned the scroll with intricate borders and symbols, each carrying its own meaning. Weeks turned into months, but Ezra remained dedicated to his task. When the scroll was complete, he felt a sense of accomplishment unlike anything he'd ever known. It was not just a collection of words, it was a beacon of hope, a light in the darkness. Ezra took the scroll to the marketplace, where he found a place to read its contents aloud. People gathered around, their faces curious and eager. As he read, he saw the impact of the words on their expressions: hope, understanding, and even a hint of joy. The argument ceased, replaced by nods of agreement and quiet contemplation. The young scribe's work became known throughout the city. People came to him with questions, seeking guidance from the scroll he had created. It was a living document, constantly evolving as new insights were gained and shared. Ezra had discovered that the Bible, the sacred texts, was not just a static record of the past, it was a vibrant source of inspiration for the present and a guiding light for the future. And so, Ezra's legacy continued, not in the quiet of a scribe's room, but in the voices of those who found meaning in the words he had carefully inscribed. He had become more than a scribe. He was a storyteller, a teacher, and a beacon of hope in a world that often needed it most.